Hey guys, it's Jake Machaney with Unknown Munitions, and today I'm going to install our new Gen 2 Tikka Rings on this rifle here that we just finished up at UM for a customer. So we're really going to go through this step by step. We just did an unboxing video on the Gen 2 rings right before this, so if you haven't watched that one, take a look first. So I have everything unboxed for you here. Real quickly, we can tell these are the Gen 2 rings because of the TI clamps that are non-coated that you see here on the rings. So Gen 2. And these are 30mm medium rings, which is what we recommend with our rock stock that's shown here in this video. So this is a rock stock built rifle. It has our machined and lightened Tikka action and a benchmark fluted barrel and the UM Tikka DBM and mag down here below because it's a 7 PRC and you really benefit from that extra length inside that mag on this type of build. So this was already all installed previously. I took it apart to do this video for you guys. So the first thing is unbox everything, get it out, get familiar with it. So just to go over that real quick again, you're going to have your two rings that are completely assembled. You're going to have a blue thread liker ampule in the box for you, so just unbag that and pop the top off. You're going to have a 9/64 screwdriver bit, which will cover all the screws on these rings, both the clamp screws and the top cap screws. So once you're all unboxed, really what you want to do is just disassemble your rings, get all the screws out, and make sure that you keep the cap rings separate from the clamp. I'm sorry, the top clamp screws separate from the clamp screws. These ones are going to be nitrided for you, and these ones are not. So keep those guys separate. Okay guys, so what I've done is I've removed the all 8 screws for the 2 top clamps on these rings, and I've loosened up the side clamp without taking those screws all the way out. So the goal now is to locate the right location on the Tikka action for your rings. And there's already a really good spot that these end up that looks real good and works for almost all scopes. So you have 3 different slots on the bottom of the ring for your pin locations. I like to use the 2 threaded locations at the most forward position on the action, both front and rear. And then we're going to put those threaded pin locations in the most forward hole position on the bottom of the clamp here. So if you have those clamps loose, these should just pop right on your dovetail like I'm doing. And then with those in position the way they are right now, you just want to take your scope, set it on top, and make sure that you have enough adjustment room back and forth to set your eye relief in your scope itself. So now that I see I have plenty of room front and back on this Maven RS 1.2 scope, again, those are 30mm medium rings on this rock stock. We have enough clearance below the bell with everything sitting flush down, so everything looks great. What I'm going to do is I'm going to torque these 2 bottom clamps to 55 inch-pounds. But you want to start by doing that, so I'm going to use a bit right here, a torque bit. So this little red bit is set for 55 inch-pounds. And I'm just going to bring these screws in until they're snug to start. Bear with me here. Just snug them up. Right before you get them snug, you want to make sure that that clamp is pushed all the way forward. You want it forward towards the muzzle, so put pressure forward and then give it that last little snug before we torque them. Same thing on this front guy here. So back them off from snug, and then we're going to give it that little bit of forward pressure. Hold the forward pressure, and then snug them up. And then we're going to torque those until this clicks. We're going to go back and forth at least a couple times. Make sure they're torqued properly. All right, so we have our bottom portion of the ring all torqued on and in position. So we're going to set our scope back up here. We're going to set our 2 top caps on. And now I'm going to get these screws installed here for you. Be right back. All right, guys, so we have those top caps installed. We got all of our screws started. This is the point where you want to just snug a couple of these up diagonal, and you want to be holding this scope up either with your customer, or if you're doing this install yourself, hold it up for yourself. And you want to set your eye relief. So again, make sure you don't pick it up and throw it around without a couple of these just snug. And then, you know, when you set up and you look through your eye relief, if you need to move it forward or backwards, that would be the time. Just loosen those back up, move it forward and backwards, and get it all set up. So for us right now, we're just going to assume that this eye relief is set properly. I did apply blue Loctite to these screws as well as the clamp screws. You may not have seen the clamp screws just a minute ago, but we do have blue Loctite on all 8, 10, 12 of our screws at the moment. So again, eye relief is set properly. We're going to want to level the scope in the rifle before we torque everything down. So we have some different levels here. These are available through Unknown Munitions. If you check it out, there's a scope level kit. So we're going to set this guy up front. And one thing you can do, you'll hear of a lot of guys that worry about using the top cap as the source of level for your scope. So what's nice about this set is you can take this long level, you can hold it on the machine surface on the bottom of the scope, and then put this level on the top cap, and then you can compare the two levels to make sure they're the same. So that's a good check for you if you're worried about using that top cap on whatever scope that you have, to make sure that they are matching and level before you use that top cap as your level. So we're going to set this up front here and get the rifle all leveled out. It's actually very perfect right now. Put this guy up top. Loosen those couple screws back up. We're going to rotate him till he matches the same as the other level. That looks good. Now at this point we have all of our screws snug, and you do want to make sure that you're not tightening that cap all the way to one side. So what I like to do is hold the ring in this fashion, and I can feel the gap on both of my fingers. I keep the gap about the same, and then I'll start to bring those down until the cap moves, and then I work my way back to the other side. Just like this. And then when I'm torquing those, I am going to torque them in a star pattern. So keep them even from left to right. Get them just snugged up. And then whichever side you feel you think has a little bit more of a gap, start your torque on that side. So I'll just start to snug them up. Star pattern. Actually, this side's a little higher. And once they start to come down, you're going to start to torque them all the way. Here we go. So we're tightening these top clamps to 30. It's a good time to bring up a question we get asked quite a bit. Is when you guys go to install your rings, you're going to tell me that your scope manufacturer says that it should only be 15. Or it should only be 18. Or it should only be 22, and so on. What our response to you is to follow your scope manufacturer's recommendations. That's the only right thing we can tell you, honestly, because you're spending a lot of money on your scope. But all of the known scopes that you might be putting on your rifle, for the most part, we've already tested at this 30 inch pounds. For example, this is a Maven that I just put at 30 inch pounds. All the Night Force line, just lots of scopes that are out there in the market, including our new Shoot to Hunt scope. All can take 30 inch pounds just fine. As a matter of fact, most well-built scopes can take the 30 inch pounds no problem. So if you do ask us, what do I do if my manufacturer, my scope manufacturer says that I should only do 22, we're going to tell you to only do 22. So if you're watching this video, just take that into account. So now I have all of my screws have been torqued. They're all Loctited. My scope is level. My eye relief is set. Everything's good to go. So there's a couple things you could do at this point if you'd like to. You can torque mark your screws with a paint pen. And what that means is you would come and you would just put a mark from the screw onto the cap itself. That's a straight line. And then you would be able to tell if any of those screws were to move. Another thing I like to do is take a pencil and I like to scribe a lead line on the front and back, as you see me doing here, on the front and back of each scope ring. That's going to tell me if I had any movement forward or backward during the shooting process, or, you know, if I look at this 6 months from now and none of my torque marks have moved and my pencil marks are perfect, I know that my scope has not moved since I first installed it. So that kind of completes our video, guys. So the tools that we used here, we used I keep forgetting the fix-it stick. So this is a fix-it stick with the included 9/64 bit, as well as a 30-inch pound driver and a 55-inch pound torque driver. And when we do have our level set, you can get it at Unknown Munitions. And lastly, if you guys did purchase a Tikka level, those really like to get installed just behind the rear ring. There's always if you install it the same way I did, there's plenty of room back here on this dovetail to put this level, whether you're left-handed or right-handed, however you want to set it up. And again, that is a 15-inch pound setting on that single screw there. But it does like to be right behind this ring as a perfect spot for it. If you guys ever have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at Unknown Munitions. Jump on our website. Our email's there. Our phone numbers are there. Everything you need to know. All of this information I just went over with you will be in the product description, including the video, as well as a written out instruction in case you don't like videos. Again, 55-inch pounds, 30-inch pounds, and these are the Gen 2 Tikka rings with the TI clamps on the side. Thanks, guys.